Wondered why summers feel hotter than before? The answer lies in the accelerated warming of our planet. Since the late 19th century, the Earth's average surface temperature has risen by about 1.2 degrees Celsius. That might not sound like much, but consider this. A few degrees can mean the difference between ice and water, between a comfortable day and a sweltering one. More importantly, the rate at which our world is warming has been picking up speed in recent decades. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, growing larger and faster with each passing moment. This isn't just about hotter summers or milder winters. It's about a shift in global climate patterns that can lead to more extreme weather events, from crippling droughts to devastating floods. The implications for human comfort and well-being are profound, affecting everything from our health to our homes, from our food supply to our economy. Yes, things are heating up and we are the catalysts. What if we told you that we're breathing in more carbon dioxide than ever before? The concentration of CO2 in our atmosphere has shot up, reaching over 400 parts per million. This is a level not seen in millions of years. And what's responsible? The activities of us humans. When we burn fossil fuels like oil, gas, and coal, or when we clear forests for agriculture or urbanization, we're directly contributing to these skyrocketing CO2 levels. This increase in carbon dioxide isn't just bad news for our air quality. It's also fueling the greenhouse effect. This effect, in simple terms, is when the Earth's atmosphere traps the sun's heat, causing the planet to warm up. More CO2 means more heat gets trapped, leading to a warmer planet. The health impacts? They range from respiratory problems to heat-related illnesses. Our actions are clouding the atmosphere, and it's high time we clear it up. Have you ever imagined a world without polar ice caps? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But this is not just a hypothetical scenario anymore. Our planet's polar ice caps, the Arctic and Antarctic, are melting at an alarming rate. A world that once had vast white expanses is now losing its icy guardians, and we humans are the main culprits. The implications are far-reaching and devastating. As the ice melts, it contributes to a rise in global sea levels. This rise might not sound like much, but it poses a significant threat to countless coastal communities around the world. These communities are at risk of being submerged, displacing millions of people and causing unimaginable damage. But it's not just about the people. The melting ice caps also disrupt delicate ecosystems, threatening the lives of countless species that call these icy regions home. Our icy guardians are melting away, and we are to blame. It's time to face the consequences of our actions and make a change. Did you know our oceans are becoming more acidic? That's right. The carbon dioxide we've been pumping into the atmosphere doesn't just stay there. A substantial portion of it is absorbed by our oceans. And here's the kicker. When carbon dioxide dissolves in seawater, it forms carbonic acid, leading to a process we call ocean acidification. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about a bit more acid in the ocean? Well, it's a big deal for marine life, especially for those creatures with calcium carbonate shells or skeletons. Acidic water can corrode these shells, making life a real struggle for our shelled friends. And it's not just them. Coral reefs, the rainforests of the sea, are also at risk. Their decline could trigger a domino effect, disrupting the balance of marine ecosystems. Our oceans are in distress, and they need our immediate attention. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work, because it's not just their future on the line, it's ours too. Scene script. Have you noticed the weather becoming more unpredictable and severe? That's no coincidence. It's one of the distressing symptoms of our warming planet. The rise in Earth's average surface temperature, primarily due to human activities, is causing a domino effect on our climate. This warming is linked to an increase in the frequency and severity of extreme weather events. Think about the hurricanes, droughts, wildfires, and heavy rainfall events that have been headlining the news in recent years. These aren't isolated incidents, but part of a larger, more troubling pattern. The impacts are far-reaching, affecting every corner of our globe. Human lives are at risk as extreme weather events become more common and more intense. Our infrastructure, too, is under threat, with homes, businesses, and entire communities vulnerable to these climate-driven disasters. Our actions are stirring up storms, and it's time we calm them. Let's recognize the link between climate change and these extreme weather events, and commit to making the changes necessary to protect our planet. Can you imagine a world without your favorite animals? Picture a world without the gentle hum of bees, the chirping of birds at dawn, the sight of majestic elephants roaming the plains. This could be our reality if we don't address the threat of species extinction due to climate change. Our planet is experiencing an unprecedented loss of biodiversity, with countless plant and animal species at risk. Climate change is a significant culprit, causing habitat loss and disruption. As temperatures rise, animals are forced to migrate to cooler areas, often leading to population decline or even extinction. Plants, too, can't simply pick up their roots and move, making them particularly vulnerable. Sea creatures are not spared either. Ocean acidification, a direct result of increased carbon dioxide levels, endangers marine life, especially organisms with calcium carbonate shells or skeletons. Our shared home is under threat, and we must act to protect all its inhabitants. The richness of life on Earth is at stake, and with it, our own survival. Are we trapped in a vicious cycle of our own making? This question brings us to the reality of feedback loops in our climate system. A feedback loop is a phenomenon where the output of a system is used as an input, creating a cycle of cause and effect. In our climate system, we're witnessing the power of positive feedback loops, where the effects of climate change feed back into the system to amplify the warming. Take the Arctic ice, for instance. As it melts, it reduces the Earth's ability to reflect sunlight. This leads to greater heat absorption, which in turn causes more ice to melt. It's a dangerous cycle, one that is speeding up global warming at an alarming rate. And it's not just the ice. Other feedback loops involve the release of greenhouse gases trapped in permafrost, or the increased frequency of wildfires, both of which contribute to further warming. Our actions are fueling a dangerous cycle, and it's time to break free. What would happen if our coastal cities went underwater? Picture this: a world where our beloved beachfront properties, bustling ports, and vibrant coastal cities are gradually swallowed up by the sea. This isn't a dystopian fiction, but a real threat we're facing due to rising sea levels. In the last century alone, sea levels have risen by approximately 8 inches. This may not sound like a lot, but it's enough to cause significant erosion and flooding, particularly during storm surges. If current trends continue, we could see a sea level rise of 1 to 3 feet by the turn of the next century. This would put many low-lying coastal areas at risk, displacing millions of people and causing untold economic damage. The primary culprits? Melting polar ice caps and thermal expansion as our oceans warm up. It's a daunting prospect, but not an inevitability. Our shores are shrinking, and we must act before it's too late. Ever thought about what climate change could mean for our food? Well, it's far from appetizing. As the planet warms, the very systems we rely on to produce our food face growing instability. Climate change disrupts weather patterns, which can lead to droughts that devastate crop yields. It can also cause heavy rainfall, leading to soil erosion and even flooding, which can wipe out entire harvests in a single event. But the effects of climate change on food security go beyond just crop production. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns can also affect livestock, making it harder for animals to thrive and increasing the risk of disease. And let's not forget about our oceans. Increased ocean acidification, caused by high levels of CO2, threatens marine life that many communities depend on for their food. What does all this mean? Food shortages, increased food prices, and insecurity for vulnerable populations. Our food supply is at risk, and we must act to secure it. Can we afford to ignore the economic implications of climate change? A question that we need to consider seriously. Climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's an economic one too. It brings with it significant costs associated with property damage, health impacts, and the need to adapt to a changing climate. Think about coastal communities that need to be relocated due to rising sea levels, or the healthcare costs associated with increased heat waves and vector-borne diseases. But it's not all doom and gloom. Addressing climate change can also create economic opportunities. The transition to a low-carbon economy could spur innovation and job creation in sectors like clean energy and sustainable practices. Imagine a world powered by renewable energy, where waste is a thing of the past and our resources are used efficiently. Climate change carries a hefty price tag, but addressing it can pay off in the long run. Let's seize this opportunity and turn the greatest challenge of our time into the greatest opportunity for a sustainable future. We've given you the facts, but what can we do about it? The truth is, each one of us has a role to play in combating climate change. We can start by reducing our carbon dioxide emissions, which means using energy more efficiently at home and in our transportation choices. But that's just the beginning. We can also support clean energy initiatives. By investing in renewable energy sources like solar and wind, we're not only reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, but we're also promoting job growth in sustainable industries. And let's not forget about our ecosystems. Protecting and restoring our forests, oceans, and wildlife habitats can significantly offset our carbon emissions while preserving biodiversity. Climate change is a vast and complex issue, but with collective action and determination, we can make a difference. The time for action is now. Join us in fighting for a healthier planet. And remember to like, share, and subscribe at MindBlownFacts for more insights and information.